Hello guys, recruiter Cynthia here once more. I'm a real life recruiter. I talk about everything related to job, recruitment, give you real life insights from a real life recruiter, not just anyone, but someone who reviews applications, someone who helps people get jobs, someone who actually give people offers for job. So you're here to learn insights from a real life recruiter, and I'm here on this channel to guide you through on things to do, things not to do, things that will favor you, things that won't be in your favor. All right, if this is something that interests you or is something that you know that you're struggling with, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification so you don't miss our next post. So you don't miss our next post. Turn on the notification so you don't miss our next post. All right. So recruiter Cynthia says, welcome to the channel. So now let's dive right into what we have for today. So today I'm going to be giving you things. I'm going to be giving you steps. I'm going to be giving you guidelines on how to land a job faster because this has worked for me. I'm not just saying it from a place of no knowledge or a place of just me wanting to talk. I'm saying this from a place of experience, something that has worked for me and something that I've seen that has worked for people. All right. The first thing you need to do in order to land a job faster is one. I don't want to waste a lot of time on this video, so we are going to dive right into what has brought us into this video. All right, I know I have promised to be very much here. I know I've promised to bring myself here, but sometimes I tend not to keep that promise. I am so sorry. I apologize, but you'll be seeing me more often on this channel. You'll be seeing me more often. I'm going to be bringing to you more real life insights, more stories, more guidance. So stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. You're going to be seeing my face more often, all right? So get used to the face already. All right, let's dive into why we are here today. Okay, so on processes on how to land job faster. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is do not apply for any job blindly. Do not apply for any job blindly. Make sure you have all the details required for this job. All right. I know a lot of people are very fond of applying for jobs in large quantities, thinking that okay, when I apply in large quantities, is likely to favor me. The more options I have, the more better. I don't want to put my eggs in one basket. I know a lot of people do that, but I'm here to tell you that that is not the best way to go about job hunting. If you keep going like that, you will not be able to optimize your CV, take hold of that application. Even when they call you, you seem to be lost about the particular job, about what salary the job is paying, about details about the job, all because you're applying for jobs in large numbers, so you can't even keep track. Even when a scammer happens to call you for a job, you can't even keep track because you don't remember which one you applied for and which one you did not apply for, right? So I am here to tell you that you need to apply for jobs with open eye. You need to apply for a job with open eye. You don't need to apply blindly, all right? So when I say apply for job with open eye and not apply blindly is a situation where you know the details and requirements for this job. You know what this job requires, you know what the job descriptions are, you know this suits your qualification and your experience, and you already know that this job is likely to work out for you. Do not apply for job based on assumption. All right, do not apply for jobs based on, oh, it might work, it might not work. Apply for jobs that you look at this description and say, oh, this is me. All right, there are jobs I know that you go through the description, you read everything required for this job, and you say, oh, this is me. And when you have that mind that this is you, whenever you see a job description, you tend to follow that job through. You tend to follow up, you tend to check out, you tend to reach out, because you are not applying blindly, you know what you're doing. All right, so when you're applying for jobs, don't apply blindly. Be sure that you know what this job entails and what this job requires before you apply. Then from there, we can then move to proof of work strategy. Proof of work strategy. Most people do this by having a portfolio. Most people do this by having a portfolio. You're not just coming to say I did this, or you're not just coming to say, oh, this is what happened. You're coming to show them that this is what I did and this is what I did not do. So that is why you keep evidences of work that you do. If there is a way to keep evidence, most people, especially people that code or they find a way to make an app or something, they always have evidence of these things. They don't just say it. So use proof of work. You don't just come and say, oh, I did this, I did that. And yes, during the interview process, you can also use proof of work during the interview process. How do you do this? You don't just come to the interview and be saying, oh, this is the process that this happens, this is the process that this happened. No, you tend to use real life situations and real life solutions to prove that you've been there, you've been at the forefront. All right, you'll be like, okay, I have worked on this project. When I and my team members were working on this particular thing, we discovered that this happened, this happened. That is proof. You're proving that, okay, you've worked on this thing. You're not just saying it because you just want to say it. Some people can be like, okay, when working on this thing, these are the steps to use. But people with proof of work can come and say, when working on this thing, or when I and my team worked on this thing, we did this, we did this, we did this. That is proof. So you're proving that you actually did that. You are proving that you were there. And this is actually one thing that we recruiters like a lot. We like when you're able to prove to us, or when you speak from a place of, experience, when you speak from a place of knowing what this entails and having been at the forefront, not just theoretically you know this, but you can't apply this. We always like it when you know what you're doing, you've been there, you're trying to tell us story revolving around it. This is what I am trying to talk about, all right? So use proof of work strategy. Then number three, to land this job fast, is cold outreach. A lot of people are talking about cold outreach right now, but people tend not to take it seriously. Cold outreach is working very well. In fact, if you want to be a job seeker that gets a job or that lands a job, you have to be able to do cold reach out. You have to be, in fact, you have to be a business development manager because you're kind of developing your own job, right? So you have to do cold outreach to recruiters, to HRs. If you go through a job description, all right, if you go through a job description and you feel like this is me, this job is for me, this is, in fact, this is the job I am going to do, have it at the back of your mind that this job is for me, this is the job I'm going to be doing. When you've settled with that, go through the process of applying for this job, all right? Apply for this job. After your application, don't just sit back. Don't just sit back. Find out who is involved in this job. Find out the company involved in this job. Find out recruiters that work in these places. Go to LinkedIn, search for their page on LinkedIn. Go to the people section. You find people that work in this company. Find the HR, find the recruiters. Message them on LinkedIn. If you have their email or you're able to see their email, email them. Tell them about your application. Cold outreach. Tell them about your application. Some people will consider cold outreach as reaching out before the job is even posted. Some people reach out to recruiters before the job is posted. Hello, I am this person. I have experience working as a programmer. I would like you to actually have my CV and know what my experiences are in case there is any job that comes out that aligns with my experience. Some people do it. They just talk to the recruiters, talk to the HRs, and make sure they have their CV and they do regular checkup to know if there is any job that comes up related to that. Whereas some people's cold outreach, it is when they've done application, they are now reaching out. All right. So either ways, they both work. Either ways, they both work. I'm a recruiter on my LinkedIn page. Even before I started recording this video today, I had people that reached out to me today for a job. Some of the jobs they reached out to me, I had never posted. Some of them feel like if this recruiter has posted this type of role, she should be able to post for this type of role. This type of role is likely going to come to her table. So let me reach out to her. That is how you go about landing jobs fast. It helps you land jobs fast. And for someone who reached out to me before I post a job, if that job comes along and I have this person's CV, I will immediately reach out to you. I will immediately reach out to you that, oh, you gave me your CV, you said you were interested in this role. Can we just hop on a call or just have an interview? And just like that, you could land that job without me even waiting for a lot of people to apply for the job. Or even when people are applying, I already have you, I already spoke to you. All right, so do cold outreach, reach out. Don't just apply for jobs and let it be. Reach out. If you reached out to a recruiter on LinkedIn, they did not reply, you can reach out to them on their email address. If there is any other social media platform you feel like they are present or you could find them, reach out. Make sure you're reaching out. For a recruiter like me, if I find a candidate disturbing, I find a candidate that is always disturbing, that this candidate is always disturbing. Even if I did not want to read your message or I did not want to go through your CV, I will be forced to do that because okay, let's see what you've got. You've just been on my neck. Let's see what you've got. All right. So always reach out. Don't think reaching out nobody will reply. Even when they don't reply, you still reach out. If this company does not reply you, the next company you might apply for might reply you. Some of these recruiters are actually looking for. I know. Okay, let's say I know when I was working with a company, I was always looking for people to reach out to me. At some point, I wished some people reached out to me themselves. It would have made my work easier. You reaching out to me and you have experience for a job makes my work easier. It makes me not to go through the process of trying to go and find people and all that. If you reached out to me and I have your CV saved up, it saves me a lot of strength. It saves me a lot of energy. Like recruiters love it when you have experience and you are the one reaching out to them, they have your CV. It makes their work easy. So don't think that reaching out to them, they will ignore you or anything. No, if you want to reach out to them with your CV, reach out to them about the job you apply for. It always works. I know why I'm emphasizing on this point because this point always works. This is the easiest way to land a job. This is the easiest way to land that job. So the other point I would like you to do is optimize your CV. I think I might have said it from the beginning of this video. Optimize your CV for a particular job you're applying for. Optimize your CV. Make sure your CV says who you are and what experience you have and what you have to offer. Make sure these are contained in your CV. Optimize your CV for the I know a lot of you must have heard of ATS. It's not a new thing to a lot of people. The fact that AI has to eliminate some of the application before it gets to the recruiters. I know it's not the first time you're hearing it, and some of you still think it's not really a big deal. It's something we can overcome. It's something we can just overlook. I'm here to tell you that ATS is a whole. In fact, ATS is the biggest thing in recruitment right now. For HRs, for recruiters, ATS is something we use a lot. The particular place I work right now, the company I work right now, before I can shortlist you right now, I take your CV, I place, even if you actually reached out to me back end from LinkedIn or anything, if you reached out to me on LinkedIn or email, I still take your CV, I still put it into an ATS system in order for you to rate how many this thing you have. It helps us to know your rating, to know which of your experience aligns with what we are looking for and let us know what is lacking. Yes, ATS does that. It does that. It tells us what is lacking in your application. So what we do normally is, because recruiters have a lot of jobs to recruit for, they have a lot on their hands. So they want to make the job easier. So those things that you're lacking, they go through your CV again to make sure that these things are actually not on your CV. So when they are calling you or when they are interviewing you, they want to make sure that those things that are in your CV, you are, well, those things in your CV you're capable, and those things lacking, they want to verify if you know them or you have those experience or those skills or not. That is why they are calling you. And when they call you, they just want to get to know your experience, know what is lacking. If it says that, oh, if your CV does not indicate if you speak English or not, they call you, do you speak English? They want to know about other experiences in your CV and they want to know that if those lacking spaces is something you have or something you don't have. And if it's something you don't have, they check to know if it's a deal breaker or it's something that can, be worked on or something you can learn along the line. All right. So optimize your CV for every application. Check the job description. If it means picking words from the job description that was posted, attach them to your CV so that ATS can read your CV and align it with that job description. Please do it. Optimize your CV. That will help you land a job very fast. And another thing I want you to do is for you to apply for a job early. Apply for a job early. I am saying it again, apply for a job early. Don't just apply for a job and apply late. Some of you must have come through some LinkedIn posts that in 5 hours they will tell you the recruiter is no longer accepting for this role, or they have stopped accepting for this role. So apply for jobs early. If you see a job within 2 hours, 3 hours, apply early so that your application can be seen. Apply early. All right. That's another point I want to make. I don't want to emphasize so much on this point, just for you to know that you have to apply for a job early. All right. And another thing is focus on jobs or roles that hire fast. Focus on jobs or roles that hire fast. Some of you are just looking to land a job. You're looking to, okay, I want to use business development manager, for example, in this particular scenario. This particular scenario that says you should actually go for roles that hire fast. You're looking for a business development manager. Mostly business development managers, sales personnel, and marketing personnel are always the same. Like, not always the same though, but they have some things that are very much in common. All right. So now you're looking for a business development manager, which is not coming through, and you need to land a job fast. Why not search for jobs in marketing? Or why not search for jobs in, higher sales, not just sales representative, maybe a sales personnel or something in sales, that the job description also aligns with what a business development manager does. And I know that in terms of these three job titles, business development manager, marketing, and sales is the fastest to recruit. Sales is the fastest or the most common you can find. If you want to land that job early, go for sales. Use sales, optimize your CV for sales. Not just any sales though, go for sales that align with what you're already doing in business development manager. All right. So if you want to land a job faster, it's something you really, really want to land, go for jobs or job titles that hire very fast. This is your fastest way to land a job. All right. And another thing I want you to do is for you to build a signal online. We talk about LinkedIn a lot. In fact, I don't want to talk so much about this particular one. We talk about LinkedIn a whole lot. A lot of us are always talking about LinkedIn. Make sure you're posting on LinkedIn. Make sure you're coming to LinkedIn. That is something you have to do. You have to build a signal online. Your online presence has to sell you. Sometimes some recruiters will actually be like, okay, your LinkedIn profile, they want to search, they want to see what you've been doing online, they want to see what you've been up to. So make sure you have a signal online that sells you. So another thing you have to do is just for you to follow up on your application. I just want to use this point to round it up. You have to follow up on your application. Don't just apply and leave your application. Always make sure you want to know what stage your application is. Always make sure that you're following up to know if your application is being considered or not, or the next processes. Sometimes some job boards, or some of the recruiters will actually forget to give you feedback. So always ask for feedback. The feedback might not help you get that job, but those feedback might help prepare you for another job or a better job. So always follow up on your application. All right. So that is it for the end of this video. So recruiter Cynthia will see you in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share to someone who might need this information. Like, comment, so that YouTube will know that this was informative and they can share it to more people so that more people can benefit from it. All right. All right. So we'll see you in our next video. Recruiter Cynthia says bye.